Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taruvasya Kripa Sindhu Vya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnamebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be reading from 6th canto, chapter 13, text number 40 to 46. Rather, text 38 to 46. We'll cover some of the slokas and we'll recite one sloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayang Mudiraye. Hare Krishna. So last class we were discussing how a cruel son called Vena was born from Anga Maharaj. So there are some verses which doesn't have purport. So we will read the verses translation and we'll go to verse number 46. That boy, text 39, 6th canto, chapter 13, text 39. That boy was born partially in the dynasty of irreligion. His grandfather was death personified, and the boy grew up as his follower. He became a greatly irreligious person. Text 40. After fixing his bow and arrow, the cruel boy used to go to the forest to unnecessarily kill innocent deer. And as soon as he came, all the people would cry, "Here comes cruel Vena! Here comes cruel Vena!" The boy was so cruel that while playing with young boys of his age, he would kill them very, very mercilessly, as if they were animals meant for slaughter. After seeing the cruel and merciless behavior of his son Vena, King Anga punished him in different ways to reform him, but was unable to bring him to the path of gentleness. He thus became greatly aggrieved. Now we will see what the king is thinking for himself. The king thought to himself, "Persons who have no son are certainly fortunate." So the king is thinking that those who do not have son, they are very fortunate. They must have worshipped the Lord in their previous lives so that they would not have to suffer the unbearable unhappiness caused by a bad son. A sinful son causes a person's reputation to vanish. His irreligious activities at home cause irreligion and quarrel among everyone, and this creates only endless anxiety. Text 45. Who, if he is considerate and intelligent, would desire such a worthless son? Such a son is nothing but a bond of illusion for the living entity, and he makes one's home miserable. Hare Krishna. Everyone, please switch on their videos. Hare Krishna. Those who have not switched on, please switch on your videos. Don't join without switching on your videos. Yes, someone can inform those who have not switched on. Text 46. Anyone can repeat? Kadapatyam varang manye.
Kadapatyam varam manye.
Sad apatyat suchampadat.
Sad apatyat suchampadat.
Nirvidyeta grihan martyo.
Nirvidyeta grihan martyo.
Yat klesha nivaha griha.
Yat klesha nivaha griha.
Anyone else? Kadapatyam varang manye.
Kadapatyam varam manye.
Sadapatyat suchampadat.
Sadapatyat suchampadat.
Nirvidyeta grihan martyo.
Nirvidyeta grihan martyo.
Yat klesha nivaha griha.
Yat klesha nivaha griha.
Yeah. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Then the king thought, a bad son is better than a good son. So previously the king was thinking that a bad son is worse and no son is better. So previously he was thinking it was so nice that I didn't have son and why did I aspire, and now I got a son, now he's a bad son. It was better that I didn't have son, because if I didn't have son, it was so nice. I had a bad son now what I will do? It's giving me so much of endless anxiety. And now the king is thinking in different way. Then the king thought, a bad son is better than a good son, because a good son creates an attachment for home, whereas a bad son does not. A bad son creates a hellish home from which an intelligent man naturally becomes very easily detached. The king began to think in terms of attachment and detachment from one's material home. According to Prahlad Maharaj, the material home is compared to a blind well. If a man falls down into a blind well, it is very difficult to get out of it and begin life again. Prahlad Maharaj has advised that one give up this blind well of home life as soon as possible and go to forest to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Vedic civilization, this giving up home by Banaprastha and Sannyas is compulsory. But people are so attached to their homes that even up to the point of death, they do not like to retire from home life. King Anga, therefore, thinking in terms of detachment, accepted his bad son as a good impetus for detachment from home life. He therefore considered his bad son his friend, since he was helping him become detached from his home. Ultimately, one has to learn how to detach oneself from attachment to material life. Ultimately, one has to learn how to detach oneself from attachment to material life. Therefore, if a bad son by his bad behavior helps a householder to go away from home, it is a boon. Hare Krishna. Thus ends the purport of Srila Prabhupada. So, today we will be discussing very, very interesting points. We see here that how Anga Maharaj is thinking that how his bad son is creating a sense of detachment in him, and because his bad son is creating a sense of detachment in him, it's actually very good. So we see in this world that this material world is designed in such a way that with all different situations, it creates unlimited frustration for the living entity. Can anyone say what all different frustration a living entity goes through in this material world? Yes, Mona Lisa Mataji. I think all. Yeah.
Not having sufficient financial condition to sustain.
Okay. Okay, not having finances to sustain sufficient finances, that is one frustration. Yes, Mona Lisa Mataji.
Prabhuji, threefold measure is Adhibhautik,
yeah, Adhibhautik, Adhyatmik, Adhidaivik Klesh. Okay, what else?
And what death diseases?
Okay, birth, old age diseases. Yes, Poonam Mataji. What creates frustration?
Like we cannot control our mind, and cannot surrender our mind, and we are always in control of our mind, which creates so much disturbance.
Okay, so we cannot control our mind, so that creates a lot of frustration. Okay, for those who want to control their mind, those who don't want to control their mind, they're least bothered, they're not frustrated. Okay.
Desires not getting fulfilled.
Huh? Material experience also.
Yeah, our desires don't get fulfilled, material desires. Okay, yes, Devmale Prabhu.
Yes, if we are not able to control our own senses.
Okay, not able to control our own senses. Okay, next, Madhur Kohli Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, something will go or will happen the way we desire, or many things will happen the way we don't want. But the problem is, life is, focus will always go on a thing which is not with us, and we don't focus on what we got.
Yeah, so what gives frustration?
The way things doesn't happen the way you want.
The way that things doesn't happen the way you want. Yes, Udharan Krishna Prabhu. What gives frustration?
So I think also at the same point, wherein a person thinks that I want to achieve something, do something, but is unable to do that, and continuously committing the same mistake again.
Yeah. So what creates frustration? Yes, Veer Narsingh Prabhu last.
If person wants to achieve something, he achieves also, but after that he realizes that now he is heading for something else. And then
so your voice is not that clear, but I am able to understand. We achieve something, and later on we realize that we wanted something else, or our desires keep on changing, and this, and then we happen like this. So if we see our frustrations, please mute. If you see our frustration comes in two domains: results and relationships. So these are the two major domains, whatever you all said, but these are the two major domains in which we are frustrated. One is results, definitely. If the results do not come based on what we expected, we are frustrated. Like Anga Maharaj, what was his expectation? That the results should be that a very good son will come, and this good son will take care of my praja very nicely. All my prajas will say that just see, here is Anga's son, wonderful son, like that. Correct? And now what result came? Completely opposite result came. So Anga Maharaj is frustrated. Another is relationship. We want our husband, wife, children to perform, behave in certain way based on what we expect from them. And as soon as that expectation is gone, then the immediate result is frustration. Right? So generally, if you define frustration, these are the two ways which creates frustration. We are frustrated because of not having our desirable results and relationships. We desired some results, it didn't happen. We desired in a particular way the relationship should go on, it didn't happen. So we are frustrated. Now, after frustration, there are different ways a person tries to release his frustration, right? Correct? How many of you know that people release their frustration? And there are different ways of releasing their frustration. So, a person, when he wants to release his frustration, he takes association of varieties of philosophy. He takes association of varieties of persons. So he takes certain philosophy or persons, right? So generally, what is the philosophy that titillates the most for a person who is frustrated? Let us see.
So if he tries from a right way, if he's not getting the thing, he will try in the wrong way.
Okay. This is not philosophy. This is not philosophy. Yes. What is the philosophy? Yes, Shweta Mataji. सब माया है, सब माया है. So first philosophy is सब माया है. As soon as a person loses something in the, imagine a person is having a lottery win, 1 crore lottery win. How many of you think that someone who won 1 crore lottery will tell सब माया है? हाँ? अगर सब माया है तो तुरंत 1 करोड़ लॉटरी मिला तुरंत वो वापस दे देगा. नहीं, सब माया है, right? But as soon as something doesn't happen properly according to one's desire, immediately the living entity takes the philosophy, सब माया है, सब ये सब भौतिक है, सब ये सब कुछ वो नहीं, right? And what else? Anyone? What or philosophy one takes shelter of when one is frustrated? Okay, सब माया है. और क्या? Anyone else? हम होंगे कामयाब. Actually, you know, we hear some motivational speaker and everything. Actually, you can do it. The main reason you could not do it is that you didn't endeavor properly. You have to do it. So, हम होंगे कामयाब. So, we hear some motivational speech and हम होंगे कामयाब. Yes.
मेरे नसीब में नहीं लिखा है.
My नसीब, my destiny. Actually, मेरा नसीब खराब है. Yes. Everything is controlled by destiny. Actually, हम कुछ नहीं करते हैं. All Bhagavad Gita verses come. Prakrite kriyamani gune karmani sarvasa. Everything is done by God only. मैं तो बस निमित्त मात्र हूँ. मेरे नसीब में जो लिखा था वही मिलेगा. उसको जो माथा पे लिखा के आया था वही मिलेगा. What else? Oh, I think you are all not frustrated at all in life. Huh? It looks like you have been never frustrated. It looks like all of you had a cakewalk in life. Yes, Ravi Prabhu. You are muted. You have to unmute. Yeah. हाँ.
मैं तो कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता.
मैं तो useless हूँ. I am useless. I am simply. How many of you think that this is a very nice point which Ravi Prabhu said? Anytime any frustration comes, मैं useless हूँ प्रभु. मेरा कुछ काम. I just am useless. I'm good for nothing. I'm not fit for even staying in this world. Yes, correct. Yeah? I'm useless. I'm good for nothing. I can't do anything for anyone. So, I am useless. Yes, Udharan Krishna Prabhu. Good. Yes. कभी खुशी कभी गम, सुख और दुख आता रहेगा. आज अच्छा कल है ना, सुख and दुख. It is both we have to come, we have to experience. ये सब दुनिया ऐसा ही बना हुआ है. Yes, Subh Krishna Prabhu.
One verse will come to our mind, Dukhalayam Asasatam.
Oh, Dukhalayam Asasatam will come. That is a devotee, frustrated devotee. Dukhalayam Asasatam. Okay, we'll write. Okay, Dukhalayam. Yes. Last, Poonam Mataji.
Before Bhakti Prabhuji, why God is giving so much pain?
Why God is doing to me like this? I am such a nice person. I chanted 16 rounds every day. I conquered my sleep. I got up at 5:15 in the morning. I didn't want to do it. I did it. Why did Krishna doing like this to me? So this is a very important thing that comes. Why me? Yeah. And based on what philosophy? Okay, Kushal Bihari Prabhu has something more to say.
We say Gam ka Sathi Ram.
Okay, Gam ka Sathi Ram. That's a very nice philosophy that people take. Gam ka Sathi Ram. Right.
Prabhuji, to release frustration, sometimes we listen the slow music or spiritual music or kirtan. Sometimes we do that also.
Now we are talking about philosophy. We are talking about philosophy, not action.
New philosophy.
Okay. One by one. Sukriti Mataji, then Dev Mali Prabhu.
लोग कहते हैं भगवान है ही नहीं वरना इतना बुरा हमारे साथ कैसे कर सकते थे.
So they become atheistic. They take shelter of atheistic philosophy that there is no God. If God is so, hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, this is what God is doing with me and all those things. So people take shelter of, they become atheist. Like I remember one boy was there, his father passed away. He was a young boy and he took the photo of Jagannath and he put it down and he started throwing it down and hitting it again and again and stood on the photograph of Jagannath. And from that day he became atheist. And then he started coming to Partha and he started associating with me and I was teaching him, and also slowly he started believing again. And then his mother was telling ki Prabhuji, whatever Partha has done or what not, but I am grateful that at least he had taken such strongly shelter of atheistic philosophy because of the loss of the father, but now at least he is starting to put faith on God. So people take strongly to atheistic philosophy when they go through frustrations in life. And based on what philosophy one takes shelter of, then they associate with people like that. If they have Sab Maya hai, then they will find out some people who will tell Sab Maya hai. If they have a philosophy that hum honge kamyab, they will find people and associate with them. If they say that gam ka sathi ram hai, then they will go to a beer bar and find out some people there. So based on a philosophy that develops when one is frustrated, accordingly he starts associating with people. Now when a person is pious, then he in terms of frustration, he mostly, for a pious person, mostly a pious person takes help of devotees and tries to learn or take information from Shastras and sadhus. So generally, if one is not pious, he will take shelter of different people. But for a person who is pious, he will come to temple. We have seen so many people coming to temple and wanting to ask lot of questions, that wanting to meet. Yeah, where is Prabhuji? I want to meet. And then they will put such a big dandavat. Even devotees don't put such dandavats, that these people have put dandavats to me. My goodness, so much of respect, so much of respect. Prabhuji, aap to Bhagavan, you are representative of God for me. I used to think, if my disciples think like this, then they will immediately go back to Godhead. This person newly has come. And I used to always wonder how long this will remain, that you are representative of God. Maybe it's so long, I will satisfy his or her ego, then I am representative of God. And as soon as I will tell something bitter, ki Mataji, you have to do something like this, then I am not representative of God. I am gone now. All the respect has gone. So people who are pious, they start seeking information. Why this is happening to me? They will not make conclusions. Or even if they will make conclusions, they will come to temple, they will meet sadhus to reconfirm their conclusions. Right? Because they are pious. So they want to deal with the shastras, deal with the sadhus, and then they come to temples. And in temples, they hear different philosophies, different things, different ways. Can anyone say, for a person who comes to the temple, and for a person who is really frustrated in his life, what is that most important thing in the shastras which gives him biggest happiness and solace? If someone has not come to temple, he is not a pious, then he will think all these different philosophies that we have mentioned, these philosophy for someone who is not pious. But someone is pious. What is that thing which attracts a person? Which is that philosophy that attracts him the most in Krishna consciousness? You are able to understand the question? Yeah? Huh? Spiritual world. Very good. One big Haribol for Sukriti Mataji. Tell Haribol. This is big Haribol. Okay. Very good. Okay. Spiritual world. Yes. And what else? Anyone else?
If we come to temple, we can see the smiling face of the God.
Yeah.
Then it gives peace to our mind.
Yes. Smiling face of Krishna. Krishna's smiling face actually takes away all miseries. Yes. What else?
Krishna Prabhuji.
हाँ.
Devotees mixing together the people.
Yeah.
Go take care.
Devotees always smiling. Yes. What else?
Hearing melodious kirtan.
Hearing melodious kirtan. What else?
Philosophy of karma.
Huh?
Whatever.
Yeah, philosophy of karma. Karma gives lot of happiness. If one is having the philosophy of karma, बहुत खुश लगता है. ओहो, मेरा अच्छा कर्मा नहीं था, मैं अच्छा कर्म करूंगा. Yes, last. Pastimes.
Where Lord has
Oh, one by one. Yes, pastimes.
where Lord has shown partiality to his devotees.
Pastimes where Lord has done partiality to his devotees. Lord कितने कृपालु हैं भक्तों के प्रति. And देखो भगवान ने इंद्र को सब कुछ दे दिया और बलि से सब कुछ छीन लिया. वाह 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 वाह. कितना अच्छा, कितना अच्छा, इतना अच्छा लग रहा है, इतना अच्छा लग रहा है. सब ले लिया और भगवान मेरे लिए भी ऐसे ही करेंगे. मेरे बॉस से सब छीन लेंगे और मेरे को दे देंगे. देखना एक दिन मेरा बॉस कुत्ते की तरह रास्ते में घूमता रहेगा नौकरी के लिए. I am not exaggerating. I have heard people coming to me telling like this, प्रभु मैं वैष्णव हूं और मेरे साथ ऐसे किया है, देखना भगवान क्या करेंगे उसके साथ. अरे वैष्णव कभी ऐसे सोचता है क्या? क्या वैष्णव है तुम? हाँ, ये वैष्णव है. दिस इज वैष्णव. आई थिंकिंग लाइक दिस. हाँ, मेरे साथ ऐसा किया प्रभु जी, देखना. And if something happens, I have seen people coming to me. Some person has done something wrong, and something happened to that person, and the person comes to me and tells me, "प्रभु जी होने वाला ही था, होने वाला ही था. मेरे को पता था यही होगा. This was supposed to happen." If he does like this to such a pious person, what do you think will happen? This is going to happen. So we take shelter of those philosophy that Krishna punishes the miscreants. Yada yada dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyam. भगवान आए, देखो उसको विनाश करने के लिए. So we take shelter of karma, we take shelter of pastimes of the Lord, where Lord has shown partiality to devotees and where Lord has punished the demons. Yes. And last, oh, so many people. You have different, yes. Yes. Tell.
Knowing that we are eternal soul and not this body.
Okay, we are eternal soul. ठीक है. Not that. It's not that strong. Not that strong. So we are not going to write it.
So when we are not, I am not able to achieve something. I am not able to achieve something. Then I have to think anyway क्या लेके जाएगा.
This philosophy so nicely touches the frustrated minds. दुनिया से लेना क्या था, दुनिया से देना क्या था. खाली हाथ हम आए थे, खाली हाथ जाएंगे. यही शास्त्र की कथन है. यही है ना प्रभु जी? हाँ? ये कब याद आता है? जब हाथ खाली रहता है. हाथ में जब बहुत कुछ करोड़ों करोड़ों रुपए रहता है, कोई नहीं सोचता है खाली हाथ आएंगे, खाली हाथ जाएंगे. when सब चला जाता है हाथ से, हाथ खाली हो जाता है, जैसे मेरा हाथ अभी खाली है, तो खाली हो जाता है. देन हमको खाली हाथ ही जाना है प्रभु जी. शास्त्र तो वही बोल रहा है, नंगे हम आए थे, नंगे हम जाएंगे. कपड़ा भी लेके नहीं जा पाते हैं प्रभु जी. है कि नहीं? हाँ, Visma is laughing. So खाली हाथ आए थे. So this is a very important philosophy जो which really titillates and inspires the mind of a frustrated person. I think one will take. Okay, Mohit Prabhu. Everything is temporary. I think we have written that. Dukhalam, everything is temporary. All this, and so things are temporary. Things will also now improve. So yes. Okay, so we'll not take further. So this is different things, information that a person who comes, frustrated person who comes in pursuit of devotional service becomes very attracted, and especially the concept of spiritual world, and especially how devotees are all smiling, how devotees are talking so nicely, and that's how the intention of performing bhakti is mostly for the living entity for want of santi or peace. So if you ask any new devotee why you are coming to temple, what they will tell? Can anyone say? Any new devotee who is coming to temple, मन शांत हो जाता है प्रभु जी, आपका जो हंसी है ना, मेरे को बोले पीपल हैव टोल्ड, प्रभु जी आपका जो स्माइल है ना, कितना ठंडक लगता है, आपको देखते हुए कितना ठंडक लगता है, साल में एक बार मंदिर आएगा वो और ऐसे बात करेगा. Recently one person came, in 1 year he comes one only, and he will give me some donations and he will talk with me for half an hour. Prabhu, really, your face has something, Prabhuji. Your face has something. By seeing that, I feel so relieved. इसीलिए तो हम आते हैं इधर, आप ही के आनंद देखने के लिए. अरे, if you are so attracted to my face, you should have left your all business, all your wife, and come, because my face is available in temple only. You should come every day to see my face. Huh? Why you are not coming and seeing my face every day? बहुत ठंडा लगता है, बहुत शांत है. So the primary intention, there may be different intentions of people who come to devotional service, but the primary intention of a new devotee is शांति. शांति, हमको शांति मिल रहा है. मंदिर में जो शांति मिलता है प्रभु जी, वो कहीं अवेलेबल नहीं है. There may be secondary reasons why he is coming, and the smiling faces, and why he is attracted to spiritual world. Can anyone say? Yes, Bihari going through.
So we get miseries and problems here, but there are no problems, and we can live peacefully in spiritual world. Yeah. So why he is attracted to the spiritual world? Because spiritual world has no miseries, and there is Santi. Santi. Spiritual world में शांति है, सब शांत. Now the problem is, can anyone say what is the problem if a new person also maintains such type of, if a new person continues with this Santi intention, what are problems? Can anyone say what can be the problem if a new person is
maintaining this Santi philosophy. Okay, yes, Pavan Krishna Prabhu. Okay. Okay, so he will not be able to continue in the bhakti. And why he will not be able to continue? The bhakti में भी शांति नहीं है. So bhakti में भी शांति नहीं है. Okay. कहाँ चला गया भक्ति का शांति? Yes, Pavan Krishna Prabhu. Tell one example. कैसे भक्ति में शांति नहीं है? ओ नहीं है. गलत कर लिया. नहीं है. Okay, tell example, one example. हाँ.
5 मिनट का इंटरेक्शन होता है, but when the interaction is prolonged, certainly like every time his ego will not be satisfied.
So ego gets hurt. Okay. So sometimes he sees devotees smiling coming to temple, and then one day one devotee picks him up and says, प्रभु आप बहुत दिन से मंदिर आ रहे हैं, कुछ सेवा क्यों ना कीजिए? हाँ प्रभु जी सेवा करेंगे, बताइए क्या सेवा है? Please clean the temple hall. And then he starts cleaning the temple hall, and he doesn't clean the temple hall properly, and the same devotee who is smiling in Mangal Aarti gives him such a Mahaprasad. Arey, Prabhu, this was the person. He's smiling, dancing, jumping in Mangal Aarti, and he gave me a service. I am trying, Prabhuji, to do the service. And now he's shouting angrily. How can a devotee become angry, Prabhu? Huh? How can a devotee shout like this? The scriptures are telling titikshaka, karunika. Devotees are merciful. Devotees are tolerant. Is this a devotee, Prabhu? Huh? Is this devotee shouting at me? So when devotees express some dissatisfaction, then he really feels, Arey, how this temple is different from outside world? This temple is also like this only. The devotees are also like this only. शुद्ध भक्त नहीं है. शुद्ध भक्त नहीं है कोई. शुद्ध भक्त नहीं है. Yes. What else? कैसे भक्ति में और शांति नहीं रहता है? Yes. उदाहरण कृष्ण ब्रो.
Prabhu, if there are some material benefits, if they are not getting, problems will continue. Then they are
not getting material benefits. Now previously there was material benefits, and he was expecting that the material benefits will continue, but now problems are coming, material problems are coming. So bhakti में भी शांति नहीं है, कुछ फायदा नहीं है ये करके. This anyway the material problems will keep on coming. So why I should do bhakti? So keep on coming again. Yes, anyone else?
तो पहले कुछ प्रॉब्लम होता था तो एटलीस्ट खुद रिस्पांसिबिलिटी लेता था कि मेरा दिक्कत है, आई एम नॉट ट्राइंग. अभी तो भगवान भी रोक देता है. भक्ति करने के बाद भी नहीं हो रहा तो
yeah. So now why God is doing like this, the problems. Yes. Okay, what else? Anyone else?
ये लगता है शांति तो मिल रही पर ये फियर ये कब तक रहेगा, थोड़ा टाइम में जाएगा.
fear of
कि भाई ये शांति तो टेम्पररी है.
हाँ. Okay. हाँ, this fear of temporary शांति. So yes. Anyone else? Why bhakti में शांति नहीं रहता है? One big Hari Bol for Mataji. Yes, one Hari Bol. Tell Hari Bol. Mataji का purification हो रहा है. Yeah. Guru's purification and training. अब शांति नहीं है, कुछ शांति नहीं है. क्या प्रभु जी कितना अच्छा था. एक माला में करता था प्रभु जी. एक माला में प्रभु जी इतना स्वीट राइस खिलाए, इतना स्वीट राइस खिलाए. 16 माला कर रहा हूं, कुछ स्वीट राइस नहीं मिलता है. केवल गाली मारते रहते हैं प्रभु जी मेरे को. ये किया नहीं, वो किया नहीं, ऐसे क्यों किया, वैसे क्यों किया. हाँ, यही करता है तुम. हाँ, एक माला करना अच्छा था प्रभु जी. मैं फिर से एक माला ही करता हूं. आप स्वीट राइस खिलाते ही रहिए, खिलाते ही रहिए. कितना अच्छा हम आप आते थे, पराठा लेके आते थे और स्वीट राइस लेके आते थे, मेरे को खिलाते थे. आप वही कीजिए. वही गुरु को मैं देखना चाहता हूँ प्रभु जी. उसी तरह मैं आपको देखना चाहता हूँ. वही गुरु का दर्शन दीजिए. जैसे कृष्ण, अर्जुना was telling ना to Krishna, oh I don't want to see universal form, I don't want to see your universal form, I don't want to see your universal form, I want to see your friendly form. So like that. Oh Guru, I don't want to see this. Oh, that previous Guru was so nice. प्रभु जी बहुत बदल गए हैं मेरे साथ. Right? Okay. Yeah. Yes, anyone else?
When the person becomes more serious in bhakti, anartha starts to appear. So what disturbs ho jata hai wo?
Yeah. So when person starts bhakti, then there is shanti. And when there is bhakti is continuing, so bhakti is like manthan. When samudra manthan happens, what comes first? What comes first in samudra manthan? Wish. So previously, when person is in outside world, everyone thinks he is a great devotee. Now when he comes inside, he finds a lot of peace, shanti and all those things. And then when he starts practicing, then lot of anarthas come. Previously, he was not able to see his anartha. He was fully in ignorance and he was in bliss. He was fully convinced, I don't have lust. I don't have greed. Now when he understands the philosophy, he sees his greed. He sees his lust. He sees his anger. He sees his illusion. He sees his material attachments. And then when he sees his material attachments, then there is no shanti. My goodness, it was so nice. I was so blissful. I was not knowing that this is paap, this is punya and all those things. Prabhu ji ने मेरे को सिखा दिया ये पाप है. Now I am feeling so bad. मैं पाप कर रहा हूँ. Right? Yes. So because of anarthas, he becomes very miserable. Yes. What else? Anyone else? Some two hands are up. Yes.
So for a person, bhoga and tyaga situation keeps on coming and going. So earlier he was too much absorbed in mental activities. Then he came to bhakti, so he was feeling shanti for some time. Now again his desires will coming up for doing the material activities again because he has left them for a long time. So again he wants to go back.
So he will see his materialistic friends. कितना अच्छा है. प्रभु जी ने मेरे को ऐसे पकड़वा दिया माला. बिना माला का घूम जाते हैं, ऑफिस चले जाते हैं, कुछ रेस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं. मेरे को जैन फूड खाना है, ये फूड खाना है, कुछ भी खा लो, कहीं पे भी चल लो. कितना अच्छा था जीवन. काहे में भक्ति में आया. जीवन इतना रेस्ट्रिक्टेड हो गया. So then the person feels restricted in bhakti and again looks for the material things. Yes, we'll take one more last. Yes, Vihari Govind Prabhu.
After either good purification or by doing services, one starts with blasphemy or criticizing the devotees.
Yeah. So one starts criticizing the devotees, that are these devotees, they show some color and they are actually something. This Prabhuji, he was showing something, but actually is not. And so, especially if you take all these things, So we see that the person forgets, okay, sorry. The person forgets that bhakti is not about santi but seva. Actually, he had come to bhakti for not giving seva but taking seva from Krishna. What seva he was taking from Krishna? Can anyone say? What seva he was taking from devotees and Krishna? शांति. कृष्ण मेरे को शांति दे रहे हैं, भक्त मन को शांति दे रहे हैं, basically शांति, right? But one has to understand that bhakti is not about Santi. Spiritual world is not about Santi, it is about Seva. So that's how, if the person wants to continue in devotional service further, then his intention has to go through a transformation. And what is that transformation? The transformation of Santi to Seva. So he was actually, he was actually taking service from Krishna and devotees. He was actually taking service from Krishna and devotees. And what is the service he was taking? He was taking service of making his mind peaceful. And that's how, if a person has to continue further, he has to change his narrative from Santi to Seva. There is a narrative that goes on in a mind. So keep telling in this context of Anga Maharaj. So Anga Maharaj is going to forest. Now Anga Maharaj is frustrated. Anga Maharaj wants to practice spiritual life. Anga Maharaj understands that the goal of life is spiritual. He is going to forest, but we need to understand, in forest also there is a Santi. In forest there are also different animals. In forest, in palace, as soon as 9 o'clock happens in the morning, immediately the breakfast plate will come. But in forest, he has to go and beg. Or he cannot even beg, he has to find his own food. In palace, he was just cleaning his own clothes. Some people were cleaning his clothes, and in forest, he has to go clean his own clothes. So when we have a notion that through bhakti I will get Santi, we forget that through bhakti actually we will not get Santi. We have not come to get Santi, we have come to get Seva. And Seva sometimes will have Santi, and most of the time Seva will have a Santi. Most of the time. And that's how people, प्रभु जी सेवा नहीं करेंगे, तो क्या करेंगे? प्रभु जी वृंदावन धाम जाएंगे, सेवा नहीं करेंगे, So people come to a philosophy at this point that Vrindavan jana hai. What is goal of life? Go to Vrindavan. But सेवा अच्छे से नहीं करेंगे. Because सेवा अगर करना है अच्छे से, then there is no Shanti. You have to really put your intelligence, put your mind, put your senses in trying to improve the service. So, a person who wants to continue, he has to change his narrative from Shanti to Seva. And Seva implies Asanti or anxiety. I have seen so many devotees coming and joining Brahmachari ashram with a narrative. Paas ashram join kar lo. Prabhu ji ko dekho, kitna prem hai. Many people come to me and tell, Prabhu ji, आप ही की तरह जीवन जीना था प्रभु जी, बहुत गलत किया. Like my sister called me 3 days before and he was speaking of all problems, her life problems, this life problem, that life problem, this life problem, that life problem, that life problem. But I will tell you, he said, my brother, of all our family members, you have made the right decision. Now I am able to understand. What a decision. Only you are in Shanti. No one else is in Shanti. I said, no, you come to my room, you will see whether I am in Shanti or Asanti. You see my Narsimha avatar in my room, then you will understand whether I am Shanti or Asanti. If my sister, she will see and observe if there is a camera, CCTV camera of my room, she will think, Arey, I am better off. This person doesn't have time to eat, sleep. Eating के टाइम पे कॉल आ जाता है, sleeping के टाइम पे कोई बाहर, day before yesterday I was sleeping and then, oh, Hari Bol, at 12 o'clock I said, what happened? Hari Bol. And one devotee has come from Mayapur and another devotee is telling Hari Bol and I was telling Hari Bol, my sleep is gone. Hari Bol. And what do I tell? These devotees are doing such prem alap, such, they're embracing Prabhu, kahan the aap, kahan gaye the, ye, wo, all those things, and they're just my roommates. And then I passed water, and then I was thinking, my goodness, now I was not getting sleep, and somehow I then got up for Mangalarti, and then both were sleeping, they didn't got up for Mangalarti, and I was thinking, Krishna, these two fellows, they troubled me and didn't got up for Mangalarti also, and now I have to go and my head is reeling because I could not sleep because of their Hari Bol. Where is Shanti? Brahmachari ashram gives Shanti. So if we want to continue in devotional service, if we want to go to Vrindavan, we need to understand Vrindavan is not about Shanti. Vrindavan is about Seva. And Seva sometimes brings Shanti, but most of the times, Seva sometimes brings Shanti, but mostly it brings Asanti. And only when we take that anxiety, we can do the service nicely. Why? Many of our devotees, they're not able to do service. They just want to get out of, नहीं सेवा नहीं. तो just आप class देते रहिए, हम सुनते रहेंगे, chanting करते रहेंगे. But actually we need to understand, if we really want to advance in Krishna consciousness, we need to know that the goal of Krishna consciousness and bhakti is not to get some santi, but to take anxiety in service. And if you don't take anxiety, like Yasoda, like Nanda, tell me, is there any santi in the life of Yasoda? She is the resident of Braj. So let us discuss now, what is Santi in life of devotee? Is there any Santi in life of Yasoda? We want to go to Vrindavan. She is always concerned. क्या होगा? कृष्ण को शेर न खा जाए, कृष्ण को भूख न लग जाए. This, that, this. Is there any Santi in life of Srimati Radharani? Is there any Santi in life of the Manjaris? One time Srimati Radharani was taking rest. Actually, we have a different conception of Srimati Radharani. And Radharani, hey Radhe, Radhe Radhe. But one time Srimati Radharani was taking rest, and when she was taking rest, some of her servants were massaging her feet. Then one girl came in the door of the kunja. And this lady was very, very beautiful. And this lady, when she was asked by other ladies, "Arey, we never saw you in Vrindavan. Who are you?" "Now, my name is Syamala. I am come hearing the glories of Srimati Radharani. I have come to actually do some service." And then this gopis said, "We will go and ask Srimati Radharani." And then the gopis came to Radharani and said, "There is a Syamala gopi who has come so beautiful. She wants to serve you. We have never seen such devotion in any of us." Srimati Radharani calls her, and Syamala comes inside. And Srimati Radharani says, "What service you can do?" And Syamala says, "The best service that I can do is massage your feet." And then Srimati Radharani says, "Okay." And then the other Sakhis who were massaging, they're standing and watching Syamala massaging, and Syamala is crying tears, massaging Srimati Radharani's feet. And when Syamala started massaging Srimati Radharani's feet, Srimati Radharani was feeling so much happiness. In the happiness, Srimati Radharani started shouting on the Sakhis, "Yahi, this is how you are massaging my feet? Learn from this Syamala." And started rebuking the Sakhis. Useless service, no quality in your service. And imagine Sri Nitai Das, who has heard so much about Srimati Radharani, such a compassionate, her mouth is filled with sweetness. Only the sweetness that comes out from her mouth. Sri Nitai Das, who has heard so much glories of Srimati Radharani, is standing there. Immediately, he will find faults in Srimati Radharani. And that is how we have to go through the training to enter spiritual world. Otherwise, if we don't go through training, if we have this mentality, their own philosophy of what is devotional service, we will go there and find simply faults and burn in aparadh. So doing service means taking just let's remove this. So doing service means taking anxiety. Doing service means hearing feedbacks. Doing service means going out and finding how can I improve. This is very, very purifying to the ego. The ego thinks I don't need any improvement. Whatever I am doing is the best. Until and unless we really make our ego asant, we cannot even come to even think that how can I improve? I don't need any improvisation in my spiritual life. And if the Guru is telling you improve, immediately the ego reacts. Huh? Is he knowing better than me? What nonsense is this? And then there is so much of anxiety. We find faults in spiritual master. And if you are finding faults in spiritual master, don't be surprised that you will definitely find it in Krishna, definitely find it in Srimati Radharani, and definitely find it in the residence of Sri Vrindavan Dham. So doing service or improving means that coming out of the comfort of ego, comfort of the mind, body, mind, intelligence, and ego. So we need to understand that if we are not ready to come out of this comfort zone, then let's not really think, I will go to spiritual world, go to Vrindavan. Vrindavan is not our place. And maybe we may not ever experience Sri Vrindavan Dham. Really horrifying, yes? So then the last question is, what is Santi for a good devotee? Yes, Sweta Mataji.
Personal experience, Prabhu, what really counts is getting the service from you and even tolerating my ego and trying as much as possible to get out of the comfort zone. I'm trying and we failed so many times, but I really keep on trying.
Okay.
Your chastisement and your loving speeches have the same effect. Krishna.
Okay, trying. Okay, trying. Okay, take care. So, what is the Santi for a devotee is trying? Okay, okay. Next. Yes, Pavan Krishna Prabhu. What is Santi for a devotee? Yes, Pavan Krishna Prabhu.
So, for a devotee, Shanti might be no material anxiety. He has only spiritual anxiety.
Okay, no material anxiety. He has spiritual anxiety. Okay. What else?
For devotee, Shanti maybe to if the person who is being served is pleased or not by seeing the happiness of Vaishnava, he may feel that is my Shanti.
So devotee Shanti is in the mood of seva. If I can give Shanti to my spiritual master by taking some burden of him, then that is my Shanti. So what is devotee Shanti? The devotee Shanti is if I can give some Shanti to Guru by taking some of his anxiety, then that is my Shanti. And we see Srimati Radharani would be so much in anxiety to meet Krishna. And Lalita Devis would become more anxious than Srimati Radharani. And Lalita Devi's only Shanti in life is when she is becoming asant to give Shanti to Srimati Radharani. Sometimes Lalita Devi would become so angry on Krishna. She would go and become so angry. With really anger. And then Madhu Mangal would make fun of Lalita Devi and say, volcano, volcano, volcano. So we need to understand that these residents of Vrindavan, their mood is that my Shanti is if I can take away some asanti of other people, of Vaishnavas, of my Guru. My Guru has taken so much of burden and load in service. Let me take out some burden, and that is my only Shanti. Yes. Anyone else?
We can do our best, the seva we are getting.
Yeah, so we can do our best in the service and improve the quality of the service. Okay. What else? Yes, Shamapriya.
Prabhu, I think mine was also similar actually. When the Guru is satisfied with the service that we are doing.
Okay, so if the Guru is satisfied with our service, then that is our Shanti. Okay, anyone has any other point which is not related? Okay, Vishnu Priya.
By following the orders of Guru as it is, like even if the Guru says to chant one round, so doing that one round gives more Shanti than doing 16 rounds. If Guru says sit, so that sitting is also a Shanti. So just following.
Yeah, so our Shanti is following the instructions nicely. Yes, last. Okay, 2 devotees. Kushal Bihari Prandu Dharan Krishna Guru, because we are having time.
Yes, sir. Krishna or Guru will be pleased by our sincere endeavor. Even if we are successful or not successful, and that is admittable, but our endeavor should be sincere.
Yeah, so if our endeavors are our Shanti, our sincere endeavors which are sincere, that should give us Shanti. Okay, Udharan Krishna Prabhu.
Truly, I think that one more thing is for a devotee, if by doing seva, if that person is getting more realizations, spiritual realizations, then that person can come in the right path.
Yeah, so we get lot of realizations when you do service. We feel connected with Krishna. We experience Krishna. We develop more faith on Krishna, that, oh, Krishna is there to help me. That gives something, right? So, yeah.
Gratitude for an opportunity to serve Krishna also.
Yeah. So gratitude gives a lot of shanti. Gratitude for service opportunity gives us a lot of shanti. So we need to understand that a devotee finds shanti not when he is sant. Devotees find shanti when he takes up asanti to give some shanti to someone else, some other devotee, some other Vaishnava, to Krishna, to Srimati Radharani. So this is the transformation of narrative that can make our devotional service steady. Otherwise, our devotional service will not remain steady if we continue having a wrong definition of shanti. So what basically we have to transform, is a right definition of shanti. It's not that devotees don't have shanti. It's not that Yasoda doesn't have shanti. Yasoda has shanti. Just like a mother in this world, the mother is sant. But you see nowadays a very typical thing. Previously, I used to see my mother raising 3 children, and she was so happy, she was so peaceful. I used to travel, my sisters used to travel, but my mother was not a sant. She was happy because she was in the mood of service. She was not looking for her own shanti. And you will see nowadays, one child, the father and mother are so disturbed. Why? Because of the mood of service is going away. People are looking more towards their selfish shanti than selfless. So we need to understand, no matter how much ever we are selflessly seeking for shanti in this material world, there is no shanti. And so long we are selfishly trying to seek out shanti in spiritual realm, we will never be sant. Shanti is when we transform our narrative from seeking shanti to giving shanti to Vaishnavas, to Krishna. And that's how we want to go to spiritual world. We don't want to go to spiritual world for getting shanti. We want to go to spiritual world for rendering service. More and more service. Trying to intensify our quality of our service. And that's the reason we are going. And if we will continue in our path to spiritual world without having diversion, if and only if when we have this transformation. So, how this transformation, in the next almost 7 minutes, we will discuss how this transformation will happen. Yeah. Can anyone say how this transformation can come up in our life?
By seeing how our superiors also, Guru has taken up asanti or anxiety to please his superiors. So first we get conviction that they are also doing the same thing which I want to and supposed to do.
Okay, so transformation by observing our superiors taking anxiety. Yes. Sunita Mataji. Okay, okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Mohit Prabhu is telling Hare Krishna. Yes, Hare Krishna. Tell. Okay, so by doing proper sadhana. Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, when we experience the difference, when previously we used to think about ourselves, still we were not happy, and then by doing seva, we get the satisfaction and happiness. That experience that transforms us.
Yeah, so experiencing happiness in selflessness, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone else?
We can take example from Shastra, how the great personality decides to keep at their
I didn't got it. Veer Narasimha Prabhu, you are speaking. Your awaz is very bad. Speak it again. Oh, Prasanjit is telling. हाँ बोलो.
हम लोग शास्त्र से एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं कि कैसे ग्रेट पर्सनालिटी मतलब अपनी ईगो को डिसाइड करके सैक्रिफाइस किए सर्विस करके.
Yeah, by reading examples from Shastras. Yes, anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हाँ बोलो.
Prabhuji, when we self-analyzing what type of bad qualities we have and what type of good qualities I transform. Self-analyzing of bad qualities, what is it going inside?
So by doing introspection, thinking about कैसे मेरा भक्ति चल रहा है. Yes, Subh Krishna Prabhu.
By accepting when we observe, we accept the reality that we have to serve somebody in our life. We forcefully will be given the responsibility if you don't take it. So accepting this fact and that it will be more better if we do it for the Lord.
Yeah.
Rather than for
so by accepting the fact that anyway we have to serve, so it's better we serve the Lord, then we transform. Yes, last. Sarja Mataji. Yeah.
We receive so much of love, care from the devotees, and then we see them how they go out of way to serve others, and then we also learn from them how to do it.
Yeah, so we receive love and care, so we learn from devotees, and that gives us learning. Okay. So there are two things.
Taking up some anxiety, even if small, we can try it. Taking up some small anxiety and see for ourselves if that actually satisfies us.
So taking up some anxiety. Okay. Okay. Yes, Kushal Bihari Prabhu. Last.
I've seen that this Prabhu, when we read about Prabhupada's Leela and how much anxiety he has taken for us, we can also get it.
Reading Srila Prabhupada's Leela also helps us that we should do something. Srila Prabhupada took so much of anxiety. So, to conclude, this transformation is possible when the first thing, we have a strong identification with our service. We need to find out some service we think that this is my seva. Sometimes we think that this service is to favor the Guru. प्रभु जी के मिशन में हमको योगदान करना है. प्रभु जी, गुरु के मिशन में हमको योगदान करना है, हेल्प करना है. As if I don't help, then Guru's mission will stop only. So many devotees have left Krishna, but Krishna's mission, Lord Chaitanya's mission is going on only. In front of my own eyes, so many devotees have come and gone. So we need to understand that this service is not to just assist my Guru. The service is definitely an assistance to Guru. It is not to assist my Guru. It is for me. It is my service. This is not to help Guru, the Guru Parampara. If I don't serve, Krishna will arrange someone else to serve the Guru and Guru Parampara. And Guru is not going to lose anything if I don't serve. This is my service. So we need to understand, I am ultimately not doing a favor to Guru and Krishna. Rather, Guru and Krishna, they have favored me by giving some service where I can take anxiety. If Guru and Krishna would not have given me some service, then I would have taken anxiety for my body, for my mind, for my intelligence. I would have identified with my body, mind, intelligence, and would have continued my material life. But I am so fortunate that my Guru has given me this service. I have something to identify with apart from anything of this material world. So the first step to create a transformation of narrative from Santi to Seva is identification. That this service is for my benefit. I am not favoring my Guru. I am not favoring Srila Prabhupada. I am not favoring Krishna. Krishna has favored me. Guru has favored me to do this service. And more I take anxiety in the service. I will be in a favorable position more and more. Until unless we change this narrative and understanding that I am not assisting Guru. Guru is actually serving me. I am not serving Guru by doing this service. I am not serving Srila Prabhupada by doing this service. Actually, I am taking service from my Guru and Srila Prabhupada of giving me service. They are serving me by allowing me to stay in ISKCON. I was such a person. They are allowing me to stay in ISKCON. They are allowing me to do some service. So I am taking service from Guru. I am not doing any service. So this identification is very, very important. And the second most important thing that helps in transformation, as soon as we identify that this is mine, immediately that mamata creates a sense of upgradation. Just like you will see the public property. Everyone will come and spit. The same person, you tell me, the same person who is spitting pan at the public corridor, will he ever spit at his own personal corridor? Tell me, anyone would do that? The person would be taking pan and he would be taking spitting at the public corridor, making it dirty. And but when it comes to his own house, he will be very concerned. No, idhar pan thukna nahi. Why? Why it is like this? Can anyone say?
Prabhuji, there is no special affection to others like self.
There is no special affection. So the person has an identification. ये मेरा घर है, इसको अच्छा रखना है. And for public, ये सबका घर है. ठीक है. So instead of thinking, सब सेवा है हमारे दासोस्मी family का, we should think that this is my service in Dasosmi family, this is my service in ISKCON that Srila Prabhupada and Guru have given me and Vaishnavas have given me. And then it is my responsibility, since it is mine, so it is my responsibility to upgrade the quality, to not depend on follow-up, if it is Guru's service, then we forget. Oh, sorry Prabhuji, I forgot. I'll do. But did we forget eating food? How many of us forget eating food? How many of us forget drinking? Srila Prabhupada didn't forget the instructions of his spiritual master for 44 years. Why? Because he was identifying with his spiritual master and service. So we need to understand, when that identification comes, the natural result is a responsibility to upgrade the quality of the service and not dependent on follow-up. Rather, we ourselves take initiative, introspecting, thinking, finding out, talking with people who are doing the service in the best way, getting more and more. Just like when we become sick, right? When we become sick, because we identify with our body, we go to any extent to find the right doctor, correct? Yes? कोई ऐसा है क्या जो बोलता है प्रभु जी डॉक्टर मिल नहीं रहा है? ऐसे कोई बोलेगा? What he will say? प्रभु जी, wherever he will go and find out, talk with Bhisma, talk with Karan, talk with Sanatan, talk with Ansuman, Selja, he will make 10 different calls. How I can find a person who can help me get cured, who has a contact of a doctor? Are we doing like that for our service? We should ask. Are we calling, talking? Because we do not have an identification. And when we start doing it, then that identification, that will help. That identification, that positive identification with service will help us get rid of the negative designations that we have taken, that I was discussing in the morning. So when these two, identification and upgradation, happens properly, then that will result in, morning we were discussing Sarvo. Can anyone remember what was the verse we discussed? Sarvopadhi Vinirmuktam. We will get rid of our negative identification and designation. So to repeat what we discussed today, we were discussing about Anga Maharaj, how Anga Maharaj, out of frustration, there was some detachment came in his life, and that detachment came and he went to forest. So frustration generally comes in our lives through results and relationships. We are frustrated when we don't get the right results. We are frustrated when the relationships do not fare well according to our expectations. And then for someone who is frustrated, he takes association. For someone who is not pious, he takes association of various philosophies and the persons who are propagating such philosophy. And then we are discussing what all wrong people take guidance from, not pious people take guidance of philosophy. They say that sab maya hai, and then mera naseeb mein nahi tha, and different, all of you said different philosophy. Some people start taking addictions to whiskey, alcohol and all, but especially those who are pious, they start visiting the sadhus and the shastras and the temple and get information from them. Why? What is the reason for their frustration? And then the pious who visit the temple, read the shastras, they get lot of philosophy. They learn lot of philosophy, the pious philosophy, the shastric philosophy, the right philosophy. And out of all the philosophy that they learn in temple, the philosophy that attracts their mind the most is spiritual world is a place of Santi. Right? And then their primary intention of continuing their bhakti or coming to bhakti is need for Santi. But the problem is, if a new person has this intention of continuing that mere ko Santi milega, so then we discussed what are the problems. The problem is bhakti is not about Santi. Bhakti is about seva. Bhakti doesn't give peace. Bhakti gives bliss. And then we were discussing some of the points that when a person is too much in the mood of Santi, the same devotee who was speaking so sweetly may not speak sweetly if we do some mistake, if we don't do the service properly. If we are in comfort zone and not doing our sadhana, we may get chastisement from the Guru. The service may require for us to come out of the comfort zone of our body, mind and intelligence and ego. And then where is the Santi? There is so much of a Santi. And then the person, if he is too much in need of Santi, he leaves Krishna consciousness at this point. And that's how, if we want to continue. So Anga Maharaj is doing the first step, going and out of the forest. But that is not the goal. Detachment is not the goal. And that's how we need to transform our narrative from Santi to Seva. So we want to go to Vrindavan, but not to get Santi, but Seva. Because Seva means Asanti, anxiety. Right? And then we were discussing that how the doing service means, what is meaning of doing service and taking anxiety. So taking anxiety, hearing feedback, where all places there is asanti in the service. So how doing service means asanti. So we were discussing that we have to take anxiety, we have to hear feedback, we have to come out of the comfort zone, body, mind, intelligence have to be used. So then, what is the Santi for a devotee? The Santi for a devotee is giving Santi to Guru and Krishna. And taking away, reducing some of the anxiety of Guru and Vaishnava and Krishna. That is the Santi. Right? Of a devotee. And how we can go through that transformation, we were discussing that identification is very, very important. It's not that I am favoring Guru by taking service. Guru is favoring me. ISKCON is favoring me by giving me some service. Otherwise, I would have anyway served so many people and serve my mind and senses. And then when that identification is there, there is upgradation of quality. There is thought that I need to increase the quality because this is my service. No one should do my follow-up. Just like no one does my follow-up for eating, sleeping, mating, defending, for doing all my activities, going to job, because this is mine. So similarly, the service is mine. So it's very, very important for serious practicing devotees that they should seek out some service which they identify with, and that they have to do with upgradation of quality every day. They have to contemplate, think how I can improve the quality of my service. First, we need to have a service where we can take anxiety, and second, how to improve the quality of service. And when we have that identification, this is my service, we'll find out who will help me in my service. Just like because we have identification of my body, we don't say I didn't find a doctor, Prabhuji, that's why I didn't go to the doctor. We will do anything to find a doctor. We'll give no excuses of finding a doctor. So that's how that both identification and upgradation in the end we were discussing will result in sarvopadhi binirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. That result is that we will be able to get rid of negative identification and designation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Is there any question answer? Sorry, I went little 15 minutes late. Yes. Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, like when we do seva, we see senior devotees and like devoted, they are very much devoted more than us. So it brings a lot of them. I have this habit of comparing, like I'm not able to do it. So that whatever I do, I'm never satisfied with the seva I'm doing. I always look to other devotees, they are so much dedicated and so much on. So that satisfaction is not coming. So how to get rid of this like psychology?
Okay. So Shastras say that it is a good comparison. The nature of the mind is comparison. We cannot stop the mind from making comparisons. So Shastras say that anyway the mind will make comparison. So what we should do is that for spiritual things we should compare with our spiritual superiors, and for material things we should compare with materially inferior. But you cannot stop comparing. Shastra says the mind's nature is comparing. The intelligence nature is comparing. So you cannot stop comparing, but what we can do, you can utilize it for your spiritual benefit. So we need to compare with those who are materially inferior. If you want to compare materially, compare with rickshawala. Oh, Bapre, Krishna has given me a home and Krishna has given such a comfortable life. These people, they are hand-to-mouth situation, so you'll be grateful. And on a spiritual level, if you have to compare, we should always compare with superior. Arey, my Guru, the other Vaishnavas, superiors, they are doing so much of service, what I am doing. So it's a good comparison. But that comparison should not lead to depression. Oh, what can I do? So that comparison should lead to inspiration, motivation. That let me do. And whatever we do, being inspired and motivated, that itself is a service. Krishna will be happy. It's not that we have to become like our Guru, but we have to endeavor to take seriously the services and the sadhana. So if we compare, it's a good comparison. Don't worry about it. Okay.
But what happens like when I want to progress, then if I want to leave everything also, then that comes even if I leave everything and then dedicate my life, then also I won't be satisfied. Maybe that situation might come. So that stops me from progressing further.
So that's how we have to change the narrative of finding satisfaction ourselves. We have to understand that if I have satisfied some devotee, if I have satisfied Krishna, if I have satisfied Guru, that is my satisfaction. Then only we can advance further. Whether I am satisfied or not, whether I am feeling happy to chant or not, Krishna is happy when I am chanting Hare Krishna. That is my happiness. Guru is happy because I am continuing to chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds because I have made a promise and vow to the Guru. So that is my happiness. Is clear? Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Tarun Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So my question is that we discussed about Shanti, what is Shanti in a life of a good devotee. But I was thinking like we are taking the person can take material anxiety also, and the devotee takes spiritual anxiety. And both try to satisfy their superiors. So why the spiritual anxiety is better than the material anxiety?
Yeah. So, which all superior you are trying to satisfy materially?
Materially, whomever we are serving, suppose you are serving or family members you are serving, we are trying to satisfy them.
Amazing, that itself. So you have considered Mataji as superior to you. Okay. So on a material level, taking anxiety, the result of whatever we achieve by taking that anxiety is also temporary. And second thing, it will not satisfy our spirit, soul. And the basic reason what is the problem in taking material anxiety is the identification. The main problem is that we have to take the material anxiety of family, friends, boss and all those things, but that is not the goal of our life. The goal of life for a spirit soul is to take spiritual anxiety. But so long we have the material body, we have to continue taking material anxiety. I never told that taking material anxiety is wrong. I just said that when we are taking material anxiety, we get frustrated and we come to temple and we come to devotees, we come to spirituality thinking that in spirituality there is no anxiety. I never said that you should not take care of family. Rather, that is the subject matter of discussion for this week's, the assignment. That did Anga did correct? Is this the right response when material anxiety comes? Right? So I am not telling that don't take material anxiety. But when you take anxiety, there will be frustration. Sometimes the anxiety will be too much, overburdening. So I am just telling that when we take material anxiety, when we get little burdened and frustrated with the material anxiety that we are getting, and when we come to spiritual life, thinking that spiritual life will not offer any anxiety, that is the problem. If material life provides me anxiety, spiritual life will provide me a higher version of anxiety. And just like in material life, by taking anxiety, I get satisfaction. By taking anxiety about my son and wife, I get satisfaction. I will get a much better satisfaction by taking spiritual anxiety in spiritual life. So we need to take material anxiety, but we need to understand and transform the narrative that spirituality means no anxiety. Spirituality means a higher version of anxiety which is higher, upgraded and is of more sublime nature than material anxiety. And what is more sublime about spiritual anxiety is whatever spiritual anxiety I take, it is my eternal property. I don't lose it. And whatever material anxiety I have taken, I cannot encash it at any point of time. Last life also you would have taken serious anxiety for your wife, children, son, daughter, boss. Yes? Can your appraisal of this year be written based on your previous life's material anxiety?
No.
No. But in spirituality, one time, one devotee, he came to Krishna consciousness. He helped Srila Prabhupada so much. He took such anxiety for Srila Prabhupada in editing his books and all. And while Srila Prabhupada was living in this planet, he left Krishna consciousness. And because he left Krishna consciousness, devotees were shocked. Because that was the first instance of someone coming to bhakti, practicing bhakti seriously, taking so much of anxiety, and then living back, again breaking 4 regulative principles, stopping to chant Hare Krishna and becoming a non-devotee. That was the first case. And when that case came, devotees were shocked. They were coming to Srila Prabhupada and telling, Prabhupada, how this can happen? Prabhupada said, don't be shocked that people are leaving. Be shocked that people are staying back. This is material world. What do you expect? We are having a war against material energy. And then Srila Prabhupada said a valid point. He said, this person has taken so much of anxiety for Krishna when he was there. And when he went to Vrindavan with me, he was chanting with so much of intensity. You will see that he will come back again to Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada predicted like this. And then Srila Prabhupada left his planet. In 1987, this person from 1974, 73 till the time he left Krishna consciousness till 1987, for almost about 13, 14 years, he was in complete Maya. He did everything more horrible. When devotees go back to Maya, they really do even the materialistic thing. Baba, aisa nahi karna chahiye. Because that pressure is building. I want to enjoy, I want to enjoy, I want to enjoy. And then he thinks, I just want to enjoy. And for 14 years, he was in grossest of ignorance. And in 1987, he got cancer. And when he got cancer, everyone left him. And the only shelter he had was devotees. And he came back to the association of devotees, and devotees were so happy to receive him because he had done such service to Srila Prabhupada. And then everything which he had done in his time about chanting everything, he was speaking such philosophy of realization on his deathbed, having cancer, that even the greatest of sannyasis of our movement used to come and hear his classes in the cancer bed. So we need to understand, if we have taken material anxiety and after some time we don't take material anxiety, again we have to start from back to square one. Santanu Prabhu is planning to take a job in software. He was taking a job in coaching industry. And he was taking anxiety for coaching bosses, coaching industry. And now he wants to shift to software industry. And when he's applying, all the software bosses are telling, all your material anxiety is useless. You have to start as a fresher now. Yes, Santanu Prabhu? Am I correct?
Yes.
It's not that he has not taken anxiety. He has taken so much of anxiety for so many of kids in the coaching industry. But as soon as he leaves the industry, wants to join another industry, the bosses of this industry, useless. All your material anxiety is just useless. This is not for Krishna consciousness. Whatever spiritual anxiety we are taking for the mission of Krishna, for Guru, for Vaishnavas, it is our eternal property. We can access it at any point of time, even if we give it up. And so that's how it's not that we don't take material anxiety, but we should understand the higher nature of taking spiritual anxiety. Okay? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpataru vaishya kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Vaishnav Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.